The night looks calm, but something is wrong in the air, like a quiet warning before a storm. Far away, the oil fields glow in the dark, thick smoke curling upward like secrets rising from the ground. Everyone in this place believes they understand how power works, but they don't, because the truth hides where no one dares to look. And once it begins to come out, nothing stays the same. Not the people, not the town. Not the empire built on black gold. The town wakes up before the sun does. Engines start, heavy boots hit. The mud and the long steel towers begin their slow, steady breathing as oil rises through their veins. It looks like any other morning, but under the surface, something is shifting. The workers sense it, though they can't explain why. Maybe it's the strange silence coming from the top floor of Apex Energies. Maybe it's the sudden tension in the eyes of the supervisors. Or maybe it's just the way shadows seem to move faster than the people today. A desk inside the main office is covered in papers, maps of the oil fields, printed reports, old photos with edges curling from age. Someone has been searching through them in a hurry, leaving everything scattered like broken pieces of a puzzle. A buzzing phone sits at the edge, screen cracked, vibrating every few seconds with unread messages. None of them get answered. Whoever owns this phone has bigger problems to deal with now. Across the hallway, the morning meeting begins without the usual calm. People whisper instead of speaking. The air feels tight, heavy, almost nervous. For years, Apex Energies has stood tall in this town to tall. It controls jobs, money, and power. But today, even the people who built this empire seem unsure. Something happened last night. Something no one wants to say out loud, yet rumors are already spreading. Some say files went missing, others say a deal fell apart. A few believe someone inside the company finally snapped under pressure, but no one knows the full truth. Not yet. The only thing that everyone agrees on is this: the company has never looked this shaken. And when the leaders get frightened, the whole town feels the tremor. Outside, the sun finally rises, casting long shadows across the ground. The oil wells shine like dark mirrors, reflecting a world that pretends to be normal. But anyone paying attention can see the cracks forming. A truck drives past the office, its tires kicking up dust that floats in the air like tiny ghosts of the past. People turn their heads as if expecting something or someone to appear. Inside the building, a locked drawer remains untouched. No one knows what's inside except one person, and that person hasn't shown up this morning. Their empty chair is the loudest thing in the room. The absence feels like a warning. Something important is missing, and not just a person. Something worth more than money, more than oil, more than the power the company protects so fiercely. For the first time in years, Apex Energies feels vulnerable. And when a giant becomes vulnerable, every whisper becomes a threat. Every movement becomes a clue. Every silence becomes a sign. The workers outside continue their routine, but even they can't escape the strange pull of the unknown. Something is coming. Something big. No one knows it yet. But today is the start of a long chain of events that will uncover secrets buried deeper than any oil well in this town. Secrets that many hoped would never see the light. Secrets that will tear apart friendships, expose hidden enemies, and show everyone that this shiny empire has always been more dangerous than it looked. The morning grows heavier as the hours pass, as if the sky itself knows something the people don't. The quiet inside Apex Energies thickens until it feels almost physical. Phones ring less, footsteps slow down. Even the hum of the machines outside seems unsure. Everyone is waiting for answers, but the answers refuse to show themselves. In a small corner office, a drawer stands open, not forced, not broken, just open, like someone left in a hurry. Inside are old notebooks filled with numbers, dates, and symbols that only one person could understand. Some pages are torn out, leaving thin white scars behind. Whoever took those pages knew exactly what they were looking for, and they didn't want to waste time searching any longer than necessary. Behind that desk sits a single photograph, half covered by dust. It's a picture of a drilling site from years ago, back when the company was still climbing its way to the top. The edges are burned slightly, as if someone once tried to destroy it but couldn't follow through. In the photo, workers' faces are hidden by helmets and shadows, but their postures speak volumes, pride mixed with fear, excitement mixed with something darker. If anyone could look closely enough, they'd notice a small marking on an oil tank in the background. A symbol that was later painted over in all official records, a symbol tied to the missing person. And the missing files. Across the hall, an argument brews behind a half-closed door. The voices stay low, but the tension leaks out like a slow gas leak. One person insists everything is under control. Another claims control was lost the moment the insider disappeared. Someone else warns that going public would ruin everything Apex Energy's built. The final voice, the calmest one, says a simple truth that silences the room. If those files go into the wrong hands, our whole story changes. That truth hangs there, heavy and cold. Outside the office, people move in nervous patterns. Some pretend to work harder, hoping to stay invisible. Others exchange glances filled with unspoken questions. Everyone senses the danger, even without knowing the details. The town always depended on the company, but now it feels as if the company is depending on them to keep quiet. And silence is a dangerous thing to ask for, especially when fear starts growing roots. A delivery truck arrives with supplies, but the driver hesitates before entering the gates. He hears the rumors too. He knows something is off. The security guard, usually casual and chatty, barely looks up while checking the documents. His hands shake just slightly, like he's holding back the urge to run. The truck rolls in, but the uneasy atmosphere follows it like a shadow. Back inside, someone rummages through a shelf full of reports. Papers fall, binders clatter, and dust rises. They're trying to piece together what might be missing, but nothing seems clear. Every record looks incomplete now. Every number feels like it could be hiding something. A single sticky note slips out of a folder and lands on the floor. On it is written only 3 words. He knows everything. The person who picks it up freezes for a moment. That note wasn't meant to be found. It wasn't meant to exist at all. Meanwhile, a computer in a dark corner of the room blinks awake on its own. An email notification pops up, time-stamped just before sunrise. No sender, no subject. Just one line inside the message. The truth never stays buried. Whoever sent it had access to private systems. Whoever sent it wanted to be seen. Or maybe they wanted to warn someone outside. The wind picks up, blowing dust and loose papers across the yard. People shield their eyes and keep moving. But the feeling in the air doesn't go away. It clings to clothes, slides under doors, settles into every conversation. Everyone knows something is about to happen, something more serious than missing files or secret messages. This is no longer just a company problem. It's becoming a town-wide storm. And in storms like this, people reveal who they really are. Some stay loyal, some run. Some turn against everything they once believed in. But the one thing no one realizes yet is this: the missing person didn't just take information. They took power, and power in the wrong place is the most dangerous kind of black gold. The afternoon arrives, but instead of clearing the tension, it makes everything worse. The light outside feels sharp, almost metallic, like it's cutting through the air rather than warming it. Inside Apex Energies, people move with careful steps, trying not to make noise, as if sound itself might break something fragile. Nobody says it aloud, but everyone feels it. The calm is fake, the safety is an illusion, and something unseen is watching them all. In a storage room rarely used by anyone, boxes sit in uneven stacks. Dust coats everything, yet one box has a fresh fingerprint on its lid. Someone touched it recently, maybe a few hours ago, maybe less. The box isn't labeled, but the moment it's opened, the truth spills out. Old documents, yellowed by time, lie inside. Some pages have corners burned, others smeared with oil stains. These aren't regular company files. These are records from the early days of Apex Energies, the days everyone pretends never existed. On top of the pile lies a single notebook with a broken spine. When opened, the pages reveal handwritten notes, shaky and rushed. The words describe secret deals, quiet payouts, land bought under fake names, and accidents labeled as technical failures even though they were anything but accidental. One date catches the eye circled in red ink, almost carved into the page. It's the same date the missing person talked about over a year ago, the day they said something felt wrong deep in the fields, the day everything changed for them. Someone hears footsteps approaching and quickly hides the notebook back in the box. The footsteps stop just outside the room, pause, then walk away slowly. But that pause was long enough to leave a warning. People are being followed, watched, measured. Every action now has a shadow dot in the cafeteria, usually loud at this hour. Only a few people sit scattered around. No one talks freely. Conversations stay short and careful. Some speak only with their eyes. Others avoid contact altogether. A worker whispers about seeing a black SUV parked behind the warehouse early in the morning. Another claims they saw someone new wandering near the restricted area. The supervisors deny everything, but denial only fuels fear. And fear spreads faster than rumors. Upstairs, the director's office door remains closed. No one has seen the director since the news of the missing files leaked. Some think they're handling the crisis in private. Others believe they're hiding from it. For a company built on control, losing grip feels like drowning, and the director knows this better than anyone. A few floors below, an intern sits quietly at a desk, tapping on a keyboard like they're doing normal data entry. But their screen shows something different: security footage from last night. Grainy images flicker across the monitor. A figure moves through the hallway, face hidden by a hood, steps calm and sure. They stop at the office where the drawer was left open. They don't break in. They don't search. They walk straight to exactly what they need, as if they knew the room better than the owner. Before leaving, the figure turns toward the camera. Though their face is covered, their posture sends a chill through anyone watching. It's not fear. It's confidence. Dangerous confidence. The kind that belongs to someone who knows secrets worth running for or killing for. The intern saves the footage to a hidden folder. Their hands shake, but they keep going, aware that if anyone sees what they're doing, it could cost them more than their job. They close the folder just in time as a supervisor walks by, pretending to check routine tasks. The supervisor's eyes linger a second too long, like they suspect something. But they move on, leaving behind a silence that feels heavier than before. Outside the building, the sky begins to darken again, even though evening is still far away. Clouds gather, thick and slow, as if the world is preparing for something inevitable. Machines continue their mechanical rhythm. Drills descend into the earth, and oil rises in endless streams. But below the surface, both in the ground and within the people, pressure builds. Everyone senses the shift now. Something is unfolding, piece by piece, like a puzzle with edges sharp enough to cut. The missing person isn't just gone, they left behind a trail, a warning, and a promise. And Apex Energies, once untouchable, now feels the first cracks forming. The truth is no longer hiding. It's approaching step by step, and it's far darker than anyone imagined by the time evening begins to settle over the town. The entire atmosphere feels charged, like the hours have been slowly pulling a rope tighter and tighter, waiting for it to snap. Lights click on across Apex Energies, bright and cold, but they do nothing to push away the growing sense of danger. Instead, the shadows seem to thicken, gathering quietly in corners, under desks, along the edges of hallways. People move faster now, not because they have more work, but because staying still feels unsafe. In a small room near the back of the building, a generator hums loudly. It's always been unreliable, but today its sound feels different, almost nervous. The walls vibrate softly with every beat of the engine. Someone slipped inside earlier, leaving muddy footprints that lead to the farthest corner. There, behind a metal cabinet, lies a hidden hatch. It's old, rusted, and barely visible unless you already know it exists. The hatch is slightly open, just enough to show it was used recently. The dust around it has been disturbed, like a secret breath awake after years of silence. Below the hatch is a narrow passageway no one talks about anymore. It was used in the early days, back when Apex Energies didn't have the shiny headquarters it flaunts today. It was a space for storing equipment, hiding mistakes, and burying things sometimes literally that could threaten the company's rise. The passage was sealed off when the company grew powerful, but people who were there back then still remember its purpose. And one of them is the missing person. Inside the passage's darkness, a faint light flickers. A small handheld lamp lies abandoned on the floor, still warm. The tunnel stretches out like a throat swallowing secrets. The walls carry old stains, some from oil, others from things no one wants to name. Deep inside, footprints lead in one direction only toward the far end where an old metal door waits like a sleeping creature. Above ground, two supervisors argue in a low, tense voice. One wants to announce the situation, to control the story before someone else does. The other insists on silence, saying speaking out would expose too many buried sins. The argument becomes sharper, filled with accusations that sound rehearsed, as if they were waiting years to be spoken. Finally, one of them slams a hand on the desk and whispers something that changes the room's temperature instantly. If that tunnel is open, we are finished. Those words echo even after the supervisors leave. Meanwhile, the intern from earlier sits alone at their desk again. Their face is pale, eyes fixed on the computer screen showing more footage this time from an outdoor camera. The same hooded figure appears again, walking calmly along the back fence, heading straight toward the restricted zone. The intern zooms in, noticing something new. The figure carries a small black folder tucked under their arm. The exact folder missing from the box in the storage room. The folder that holds the truth everyone fears. The intern hesitates, debating whether to send the footage to someone. But before they decide, the screen glitches. Lines distort the image. Then the monitor goes completely black. A message appears in bold, simple text. Stop looking. Panic washes over them. Their breath becomes shallow. Someone hacked in someone inside the building or someone close enough to reach the system. They shut down the computer, grab their bag, and leave the room in a hurry, trying to appear calm even though fear drips from every step outside. Clouds block the last of the sunlight, covering the sky in a heavy, muted gray. The wind grows stronger, carrying the sound of metal rattling and warning signs flapping. The oil fields glow eerily, their lights flickering like dying stars. Workers prepare to leave for the night, but their movements are stiff, their eyes scanning the darkness as if expecting something to emerge from it. Near the entrance gate, the black SUV returns. It parks quietly, engine humming like a low growl. No door opens. No silhouette steps out. The windows are tinted too dark to see inside. Yet the feeling of being watched becomes unbearable. Some workers turn away quickly. Others pretend they don't notice. But the SUV's presence is a message, a silent one, but powerful. Back in the tunnel, the footprints end at the old metal door. It stands slightly open, letting out a cold draft that smells like dust, rust, and forgotten memories. Inside the room behind the door sits something wrapped in plastic-cooled files, sealed containers, and a small metal box with a strange symbol etched into the top. The same symbol from the photograph in section to dot someone opens the box. Inside is a single object, a recording device with a blinking red light. The device has been running for hours, capturing everything, and the recording isn't over. As darkness swallows the final traces of daylight, one truth becomes clear. The person who vanished didn't run. They returned to the very place the company hoped everyone would forget. The place where the truth began. And whatever they uncovered down there is about to rise to the surface. The storm isn't coming, it's already here.